is for numbers 18 through 22 on your Unit 2 test review. So let's see. Number 18, this has to do with functions and composition. So I need to find f of g of negative 9/5. So remember when we did composition, my suggestion was that we always start from the right. And on the right here is g of negative 9/5. So that's the first evaluation I need to do. I'm going to put negative 9/5, rough mark here, in for x into the function of g. So I'll have 5 times negative 9/5 plus 3. All right, well, 5 times negative 9/5 is negative 9 plus 3 is negative 6. Okay, so that's just the g part. Now that I have that answer, I have to put that value into the function of x. So I have to evaluate f of negative 6. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll put negative 6. Now, be careful. Use parentheses here when you have a negative that you're squaring. Okay, and you can, if I were you, I would type that straight into my calculator just like this. So let me pull out my calculator. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll do our parentheses, negative 6 squared plus 2 times negative 6 minus 5. And that gives me the answer of 19. Now you don't, if you put it in parentheses and you just type the whole expression into your calculator at once, you don't have to worry about having arithmetic errors. So our answer here is 19. That is f of g of negative 9/5. Alright, now we're going to find g of f of x. Now in 18, my input was a number, so my output was a number. Here, my input is in terms of x, so my output is going to be in terms of x. Since I have the whole function f of x on the right, I'm going to put that into the function of g, just like you did in numbers 15, 16, and 17. Right? So g is first, so I like to write the whole function, and then fill in the function of f where x would be. So that would be x squared plus 2x minus 5. Now all you have to do here is distribute and simplify. So I have to distribute the 5, which will give me 5x squared, plus 10x minus 25, plus 3. And these constants combine on the end. So g of f of x is equal to 5x squared, plus 10x minus 22. All right, let's look at 20 and 21. So for 20, I have the same kind of thing as 19. H of x is the input that I'm going to put into the function of f. So I'm going to write f first. And I'm going to put h into the value for x. So I'll have negative 7x in both of those spots for x here. Not just the first one. Don't forget that there's an x in 2 spots in the function of f. So remember our property from the summer assignment review, that exponent goes to the negative 7 and the x. Negative 7 squared is 49x squared. I just multiply here, minus 14x minus 5. And that's really all there is to it. That would be the answer for f of h of x. Now 21 mixes things up a little bit. Find the value of x if g of h of x is 423. So what do they want us to do? Well, g of h of x, let's write that out first. G of h would be this function. And I'm going to set that equal to 423. I want to find out what is this x value that gives me the output of 423. So all I have to do is simplify. You can distribute here if you want to. So we can multiply this to make it negative 35x plus 3 equals 423. So I would solve by subtracting 3. Negative 35x equals 420. And let's simplify. 420 divided by negative 35 is negative 12. There you go. So you have to do a little bit of composition, a little bit of knowing how to solve for x with function notation. All right, one more for this video, number 22. So we have k, we have m, find m of k of x. So what we're going to do is take the function of k, it's on the right, and put it into m. M is right here. This is what we're starting with. So instead of x, we'll have something squared plus 6. Now in place of the x, I'm going to put the k, 2x minus 3. Be careful here. We've talked about this, I don't know how many times this school year. You cannot just square the 2x and the negative 3. You have to write this quantity twice and then distribute the 2x minus 3. Multiply it by itself. That's what squaring means. So when I double distribute here, I'll get 4x squared minus 6x, minus 6x again, plus 9. And then I have this plus 6 on the end. Alright, then you just collect like terms. I have these negative 6x's in the middle. So 4x squared minus 12x, and then 9 plus 6 is plus 15. Alright, so make sure that you multiply the 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3. The answer is going to be wildly different than if you didn't do that. Alright, that's this video.